Through the generous contribution of Dr. Lewis's family, we're very fortunate to be able to share with you these timeless recordings of Dr. M. W. Lewis, a self-realized American yogi. Dr. Lewis was Paramahansa Yogananda's first American disciple and dearest personal friend. The wisdom Dr. Lewis imparts through these teachings will give you a dynamic and practical insight into the ancient science of yoga as taught by Paramahansa Yogananda. This lecture's title is Highway to the Infinite and was delivered in Hollywood, California on April 13th, 1958.
I said this morning, Highway to the Infinite. Highway to the Infinite. First let us discuss what is the infinite. What is the infinite? What are we trying to achieve? Realize one thing. The infinite is not something far away. The infinite is the presence of God within you. The presence of God within each one of us. It is the divinity within us. If we are made in the image of God, then we are divine. His presence within us is the infinite, and it is knowable. It is that consciousness within us which does not change. It is that consciousness within us which is always the same, never ceases to be. And in your moments of silence, as you turn your attention inward, you will feel the infinite. The infinite is with each and every one of us. But we are looking for something far off. It's our own consciousness. Of course, it is not the ego consciousness. It is in one sense the ego, because the soul is the ego. But the soul has become attached to the transient vehicle. That's why it seems different. That's why the ego seems limited and is limited, because it is attached to this limited vehicle. But if we break that attachment, if we free the soul from being attached to the vehicle, then we will know the soul is divine, immortal, it is the infinite itself. So realize, the highway to the infinite simply means the highway to the presence of God within. That's all. Brother Lawrence spoke of the presence of God. He spoke of the infinite. And there is a highway that leads to that. Just like there's a highway that leads to Encinitas from whence I came this morning. There's a highway, thank God, that leads to His presence. If we can somehow get onto that highway and stay on it, we will reach the presence of God. So, no matter what your church affiliation is, no matter what your creed is, realize above that there is the universality of religion. There is something universal. There is the presence of God in each and every one of us. And that divine intelligence is in each soul. And so let us not stop with our creeds and dogmas. Let us supersede those and find true religion, or find the infinite within. And irrespective of color, caste, or creed, that universality is there. That universality is the presence of God, nothing else, and it is knowable. Saints of all religions attest to this fact that it is knowable. It is realizable. Just to take our own Bibles, in the words which we read, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, the Word was God. The Word is the presence of God in you and in me. Why not know it? Why not follow that highway that takes you to God's presence within? Now that Word is the holy vibration. That Word is the great comforter. That Word is God's great love in your heart and in my heart. Now that Word is knowable. It being vibration, it being the first manifestation of God, it is vibration. It is movement. Otherwise you cannot see consciousness. Therefore, when God's great consciousness moves, it becomes perceivable as the Holy Ghost, the holy vibration, the great comforter of which Jesus spoke. It has three main aspects of which I've spoken many times. Perhaps you're sick of hearing it, but I'll wager not all of you know them all yet, because it is so subtle, but it is within each and every one of us. The sound is the sound of God's first manifestation of His great consciousness moving to create universe upon universe and to create you and to create me and all things. That is the sound which you can hear within you. And we read in Revelation, 14th chapter, the 2nd verse, "And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping on their harps." Now this sound, characterized in the Bible in these different ways, the sound of many waters, the sound of thunder, refers to the sound of the presence of God within you and within me. Realize that. That's the presence of God. That's one aspect of it. Now another aspect is light. And we read in Matthew, Jesus said, "If thine eye be single, thy body will be filled with light." That light is another aspect of the presence of God within you. And if you can perceive it, you are in the presence of God, just like when you perceive the sound. You are in the presence of God. If you keep